Hi, it's Caitlin, and I'm here with the Kathleen Co Spring Collection for 2025. I don't know if my mic will pick it up, but there is freezing rain and snow outside my window, but I am very happy to be at least thinking about the concept of spring, even though it is not currently my reality. This collection features all of the things that Mia loves about springtime in New Orleans. Each polish will be $13.50 and will be available on the Kathleen Co website as a pre-order from April 11th through the 18th. I will include those specifics down in the description, as well as a link to the Kathleen Co website. And in addition to the springtime collection, we also have 2 magnetics of the month from April and from March, which just passed because that one Mia had to postpone, but we have it now and it's so pretty. Both of them are stunning. Mia is like a master at magnetics. So I think that's enough for me. Let's get into the swatches. We're beginning with Springtime in the Quarter. Now this one is described as a pastel taupe base with glowy purple shimmer and a dusting of hollow micro glitters. This polish was inspired by strolling around the quarter in the spring, which is the French Quarter in New Orleans. This polish has a really easy to work with formula. It builds up very nicely in 2 coats. For me, I liked it in 2. Of course, you could take it up to 3, but I was really happy with the coverage in 2 coats, and this is kind of an easy to wear polish. I love the addition of the hollow. While they're described as micro glitters, they are completely smooth and are not at all difficult to remove. And I will of course recommend Top Coat just to seal everything in, but this is so sparkly and pretty and just surprisingly shifty. And here we have Gone Festing, which is an indigo crelly base with glowy blue-purple shifting shimmer. Now New Orleans has the best festivals, and Mia loves to go at this time of year to celebrate and see everything, and she just says there's always festivals happening, so this is a nail polish in honor of that. This has a very, very, very glowy shimmer, and I will recommend building this one up in 3 coats. Of course, you could wear it in 2 if you like a softer look. I probably would leave it in 2, but I am going to show 3 for anyone who wants to see 3. And what I do love about the shimmer is that it's strong but also very sparkly. So it catches the light beautifully, as you can see here, and just adds a beautiful dimension to the nail polish. And of course, finishing off with Top Coat. And now we're going to take a look at City Park Stroll. This one is inspired by City Park, which is Mia's favorite place in New Orleans. It's her happy place. And the nail polish is a pale base color with glowy green shimmer, hollow flecks, and bright pink purple green iridescent flakes. This one has a really nice formula, and that shimmer is quite strong, so it builds up very nicely, and depending on your preference, you might want to take it up to 3 coats or leave it in 2. Again, totally your call, but 2 coats will give you great coverage, and the shimmer is strong enough that, in all honesty, it's going to obscure your nail line. But because this has a very pale base, it's kind of got that ghostly effect where at some extreme angles you will still see your natural nail, but there's a lot going on and it is very, very pretty. This is Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and it's a bright pink base with glowy fuchsia shifting shimmer, and it's inspired by Mia's love of the tulips that bloom every year in City Park. I think my footage of me putting on the first coat got botched somehow. I don't really know how that happened, but I definitely put on a first coat, and this one I will recommend 3 coats just because it is on the sheer side. Totally wearable in 2 if you prefer a softer look, but if you want a little more opacity, 3 coats will get you there, which is what you're going to see here on my nails. And I really do love this pink. It's very pretty, very bright, even though it's also soft, and it is quite shifty. It does dry down pretty glossy, but top coat I still will recommend always. And I'm excited for you to see the shifts in this one. Here is another pink in the collection. This one's Cotton Candy Cake. It's a soft pink base with glowy gold, leaning orange, and shifting shimmer. And it's inspired by Mia's love of specialty cakes that her friend Jess makes during the spring and summer, and she's obsessed with them. So I need to know what these cakes are. I'm gonna have to Google Cotton Candy Cake New Orleans and see what comes up. Because if the nail polish is any indication of how delicious and pretty these cakes are, then I'm gonna need one airlifted to me. So this I will recommend building up in 3 coats or leaving it in 2, but I particularly love this sort of pearlescent finish to this. There's no brush strokes. It's such a smooth, beautiful, vibrant application and finish. You know how much I love Kathleen Co, and this is just a stunning pink, and I can't wait to wear it again. And this one is Breeze by the Lake, which is an aqua base with glowy silver green aqua shimmer. And it was inspired by Lake Pontchartrain. Mia says that her dogs love taking walks along the lake this time of year. And this is a beautiful, beautiful nail polish. It does give like a lake or a body of water, and it looks like truly the sun sparkling on the lake. So beautiful interpretation for this nail polish and a beautiful finish and formulation. I will be leaving this one in 2 coats, but you might need 3 if you have very visible free edge, but this is just incredibly sparkly and beautiful and really nice color shift through like blues and greens. Now we're going to look at the magnetics of the month. I'll start with the March magnetic of the month. And this one is called Full Moon Bloom. And it has a purple base with a pastel pink silver magnetic effect. So I did lay down a single coat on my index finger, and I'll go back to do the cat eye effect. But on my middle finger, I just went straight into the velvet style using my 3D printed by Danny Viana and Watcha magnet, which you can purchase from the By Danny Viana website. And it kind of accidentally also magnetized my index finger from the opposite side of the magnet, so that gave a bit of a cool effect. So velvet plus then I put on the bar magnet, and I was actually very impressed with this formula because I found it to be opaque in 2 coats. This looks beautiful with both magnetic effects. I'm not sure which I prefer. I might prefer it with the cat eye effect that you're seeing on my index finger, but it does look beautiful any way you magnetize it. And again, very glossy finish, but I still am finishing with top coat. And the other thing I did want to note is that this magnetic seemed to really hold its shape well. So with the cat eye effect on my middle and ring fingers, it stayed with that line without dispersing too much. So I just think it's a well-formulated magnetic. And last but certainly not least, I love this one. It's Riding a Unicorn, the April magnetic of the month. It's a steel hollow base with glowy pink shimmer and a pink, orange, green multi-chrome magnetic effect. So again, same thing. I'm laying down a coat on my index before I apply the cat eye effect using a neodymium bar magnet, and my middle finger using that 3D printed magnet. If you have a horseshoe magnet, 30-pound magnet, you can definitely do that. Totally up to you. But again, however you choose to magnetize it, it's going to look great. And I neglected to mention it on the previous polish, but my pinky, I didn't magnetize for either of the magnetics of the month. So if you want to know what it'll look like without a magnet applied, pay attention to my pinky nail, and it does still look amazing, even if you don't want to magnetize the magnetics. In terms of my favorites from what I just shared with you, I very obviously love riding a unicorn. I love the name. I want to ride a unicorn, but that nail polish is ridiculously shifty, and I was like getting this magnetic effect when I used the horseshoe, or not horseshoe magnet, but the velvet style that I've never really seen with another magnetic. It was almost like swirly and mixed. So I don't know if it was just luck, but it looked super cool, and I loved all of the color shifts in there, plus the hollow. And I also obviously loved Cotton Candy Cake because it is pink, but it's also very shifty and beautiful and ethereal, amazing formula. And I really want to know what these cotton candy cakes taste like that Mia's friend makes. I should ask her because that sounds incredible and also so sugary, which is right up my alley. Needless to say, I loved everything. I mean, okay, here, I also do want to talk about Gone Festing because it's so glowy and pretty, and I kept this on my hand for a little longer than usual and I couldn't stop staring. So I will also give that a shout out, but everything is stunning. I'm looking at it. It's all over my room. It's a mess. But let me know in the comments what you think of these nail polishes. I always love what Kathleen Co creates. Mia is just so good at making nail polish. So love to hear your thoughts, and I hope that you don't have freezing rain and snow wherever you are. Hopefully I will also see you in my next video. Bye.